now. That's another episode of the Jankity. Well, not that's. This is another episode of Jankity Ass Podcast, number 46. I'm here with Tom's empty living room. He's around there somewhere.
Woo!
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, right. He died. No, he's just really white. You think he's a ghost?
Was a fortnight ago.
So anyways,
Something spooky happened in here.
something almost spooky happened. This today almost didn't even happen. Fucking, my internet went out. Not just mine. It was literally the entire like from here to like Simi Valley or wherever. Yeah, a bunch of places.
Yeah. Well, heck, I even just heard you just cut out right now. Yeah, you went total like mode right just this second too. So, see what happens.
No, that's just the diagnosis. So, anyways, real quick, as always.
See, you're gone there again too.
That's weird. What about now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go.
There you go. Good. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear
Good.
you. I can. Yeah, can you hear me now? God, that's a throwback. No, I can hear you. I have a sad feeling that I just hope your internet don't die too much, because or else this is going to be a very laggedy episode like we did when we were doing Discords.
I don't know. It might be your turn next. You never know.
Oh, for an internet blackout? God, I hope not.
Anyways, as I was saying, obviously if you're watching on YouTube. So just go down to the corner here and subscribe to Multi-Murdy Media. You'll get the Jankity Ass Podcast playlist. You will also get the Gutsy Ass Gamer, which is my video games and Twitch stream. And Poncho's Paint Booth, which is all my hobbies in painting, mostly Warhammer stuff. And if you go to the show description here, right now you'll notice new website, finally. multimurdymedia.com. Good old Squarespace. A little bit more expensive than I
didn't know. I didn't
hoped.
I didn't sign off on that. I wasn't consulted. No, I don't remember that.
Oh, you agree? No.
Yeah, I forgot that my involvement meant that I tacitly approved everything you did.
Yep. But no, so I got a new website up now. It's got links to all the YouTube stuff, all the playlists, and I moved all my my whole model gallery stuff there too. And now I just gotta delete my old shitty website that's on a different service. But so that's good. I also had to pay for a domain name too, which is kind of a bitch, but otherwise it would have been.
Oh, that
You
was
there?
me just notifying you.
Yeah.
You're fine. Yeah, you're fine for now, but I will send you quiet text messages letting you know of the quality without interrupting the flow of convo.
Well.
If we're one thing, it's jank.
Yep.
I'll give us that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We stick to our roots. We stick to our roots.
I guess, yeah, I guess that would be considered, well, maybe not so much roots as tenets.
There you go. Which, by the way, just saw that movie too.
Ah, yes. I think, I think I mentioned it with you before. Yeah, it is pretty
I think
good
before I hadn't seen it, but the wife and I watched it like a week and a half ago, maybe? I can't remember.
There you go.
But I liked it. Haters gonna hate, but I thought it was a good movie.
Oh, you're cutting out on me a little bit there. It's a good face to be frozen on.
That's better.
All right, back up. There we go. We'll call that an ad break with no ad.
Yeah, just yell into the dark space of that. Put your ad space here, and then like just immediately cut back.
Now there'll be a little whatever's. Let's see. So yeah. Oh, and of course, I didn't even finish the goddamn plugs. Also, Multi-Murdy Media on Instagram and Facebook. Get all the updates for whenever shows come out or episodes come out for the different shows. And now that I have a legitimate, or what Facebook and Instagram, well, actually Facebook, deems a legitimate website, I can finally start doing little ads again.
Woo!
Instead of being flagged as a fucking dating service or some stupid shit like that.
You know, not to say that we can't give dating advice, because we're not licensed professionals, but that doesn't mean we won't give you our unprofessional opinion.
True. And of course, you can find Tom over on the TFG radio podcast.
Mm-hmm. That's a more 40K centered podcast, and it's hosted by the LVO judges, for those of you who know what that is, and I get to do some fun color commentary and get made fun of by Adam, so it's great.
There you go. When he's tired of getting made fun of by me.
I live a sad life. I'm a glutton of social media pain.
Glutton for punishment.
Basically.
Speaking of sad, apparently Daft Punk called it quits today, I think it was.
Dude, I watched their announcement epilogue video, and I was like not emotionally ready to handle that. I was like, because that video actually existed for a while. It was like an ending to like a weird art project movie they did a long time ago. So I'm watching this and I'm like, I've seen this before. And then it like starts playing the end of their album, the last album they made, and it shows like the hands of like together for this long, and I'm like, no. Did anything I say make it through there?
Yeah, I heard everything.
Oh, okay.
I just had a little blip again.
Yeah. We call this the Blippy episode. Oh, Blippy.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like ever since everything shut down last year, it's been kind of shit, just in general. But
your internet, or just life?
Well, yeah, everything, but particularly internet in this case. But I think it seems like, I don't know, I get the feeling that things are going to be kind of coming back to normal more than or faster than people seem to think. Because I mean, yeah, I was out working doing deliveries and stuff, and Friday night I went out, and all of a sudden it was basically just like full on old LA rush hour traffic. So people obviously don't mind going out anymore, I think.
I know.
And I did see a thing that apparently a hospital worker related sickness dropped like 90% since they all got vaccinated. So something, at least. Let's see. I did see you pour in just now.
I did. So today I am drinking ye old Pizzaport Brewing Company Bacon and Eggs. It is an imperial coffee porter, and let me tell you, you drink it, it is definitely on the coffee side, but it's pretty delightful.
I've had
it's got a good chocolatey taste, like most porters do.
Like a chocolatey coffee.
Yeah.
Type of thing. I've had the whatchamacallit. I've had their golden ale before. They got some good stuff. The pizzaport. I don't remember what it's called though. But on my end, I am going a little all out. We're going with the bottle today. Not the whole bottle.
Dude, what is that?
This is
Whole bottle.
Yeah, right. Hardywood Hoax. It is a whatchamacallit, Imperial Milk Stout aged in brandy barrels. 11%. Which means I'm not using the horn this time. We're sticking with the goblet. Oh yeah. That's got some zip to it. That's probably nice and dark. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not chugging that anytime soon.
Chug.
Pretty much the same.
This is good. It's kind of simple, but it's like gets the job done.
Oh yeah, this is gonna get the job done a few times for me. I think.
Nice.
Yeah, this will probably be enough for today even.
Oh, what is that? Like a 12%, right?
11, which is still up there. So. Very chocolatey. Let's see. What was yours? Bacon and eggs.
Bacon and eggs. Yeah, it's by Pizzaport. It's Imperial Coffee Stout.
Written down for later. But yeah, I was never really a big Daft Punk fan. I know some of my old friends from high school there, but that was more because they were more like big anime fans. And,
I know people who were like that. I love Daft Punk for their music. Like I actually, I don't think I've seen that anime video the whole way through even, but I loved their music. That was they were a big influence on stuff that I liked.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure they found it because that also was kind of around the same time that they started watching Robotech, and I'm pretty sure it was animated by the same people, or at least it looks like it.
Oh, okay.
So that would make sense. It's like, oh, it's the same thing. And then some of them got into like J-pop and stuff like that, which is just not at all my cup of tea. Kind of for the same reason, like, I don't know, anytime you like hear hip hop and then the DJ like cuts in with like someone's fucking baby voice, that's like, no, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, do like, no, get out of here.
Yeah. It's incredible how like a good song can just be like, all right, I'm getting into it, I'm vibing here, and then all of a sudden, boom, vocals, and you're like, oh, okay, this is shit. Like, you ruined a perfectly good setup here. Come on, guy.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of music. Speaking of music. Apparently, you're aware of Behemoth.
Yes.
I'm assuming. Apparently, Nurgle has been convicted of blasphemy in Poland again.
So he's doing his job, I guess.
The second time, yeah. Yeah, this was a couple weeks, like, yeah, it was like last week that I saw this. And yeah, I know they've I'm pretty sure he's done like actual jail time in the past for quote unquote blasphemy. So so that's still a thing.
That's
and
awesome.
I know it's not the only I'm pretty sure it's not the only whatchamacallit. Not the only band that's had to deal with that recently even. Although it doesn't quite hold the candle to story of the have you ever heard of the band Mayhem?
Yes, I know that band.
Yeah, they if you ever like look up their story, I think that I think that movie Lords of Chaos is about them, but they're legit. Like they've been through some like real shit, like actual burning churches. I think if I remember right, their lead singer actually knifed a guy simply because he was a communist.
Well, I mean, that's just
Yeah,
called being a good human being. But
yeah, that was. I think this was like, yeah, it was like the early '90s that this happened, and then the French police, I guess, tried to kill him at one point too.
oh damn.
Yeah, like they went to arrest him, which basically involved showing up to his property, lining up, and just opening fire on his house. Pretty much.
We would like to put these handcuffs that are made of bullets on your hands
Yep.
that we've already fired from our guns as of this conversation.
Which is about as metal as it gets,
It's totally metal.
I suppose.
Speaking of metal, I might be a little late on it, but I just listened to Cataclysm's most recent album.
I'm behind a couple, 2 or 3.
Yeah, I actually, so funny enough, I actually only know Cataclysm because I love his side project Ex Deo.
Yep.
And Ex Deo is fucking phenomenal. If you haven't heard it, you need to listen to it. It's amazing. It's also really cool if you love Roman history or history in general. Like bands that do that kind of theme, I'm just a sucker for it. I mean, the obvious one that does that is Sabaton, right? Like the power metal historical things where it's like, I'm learning history while I'm rocking my ass out. Like, like that's pretty cool. But but anyway, I really like his voice. His voice is pretty solid, and they throw some melodic stuff in what they do, and I dig it. But their most recent album is pretty bitchin'. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I still have to catch up with them. I would actually I would actually compare XDO more to Nile, actually, for like what they do with their, what they kind of do with the theme thematically, whatever, since they're like very heavy Roman stuff, and then Nile's like very heavy ancient Egypt.
Yeah. Another band that's very Egypt themed in sound, if not in content, is oh my gosh, what's that freaking band called? Hang on a second. Hold the phone. They're very genty. Shokran.
Oh yeah.
Shokran's pretty dope too. Although I could see if you don't like the lyric, if you don't like the guy's voice, and his voice is one of those more extreme ones. They do instrumental versions of their albums too, and those are absolutely just as great. But I totally forgot about Nile actually.
They're still around, surprisingly, even though their lead
Like
singer
super.
left.
Well, yeah, that, and they've been releasing albums since '98.
That too.
Damn.
But they had their last one was shit.
Violent Erotic Rights.
Yeah, last year I believe.
Yeah, it was actually 2019.
2019. Yeah, 2020 doesn't count for anything.
No,
ever. It's the
except for TV. It had some good TV, I think.
2020 is the 13th floor of the calendar.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still going sort of strong. I'm sure we'll still be seeing more from them eventually.
Oh, I bet.
And I know yeah, some of them had a couple of side projects too. I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think you can probably find them on Encyclopedia Metallicum, which is that like dope website that basically catalogs every metal band, and you could search by side projects and related bands. It's just highly recommend if you want to look for new music by reading what it's called first.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that website. I should probably save it at some point.
I use it to like just find. That's how I ended up finding Shadow Domain and oh my god, what are they called? Obsidians, because I was looking up at Cybreed, and that's when it was like, oh, related side projects, and I was like, what? Although I am excited, you tagged me in that post. I'm excited to see what the new side project is that those guys are going to do, because it sounds like they're going to do a more traditional band. Although I love the Obsidians format.
Oh yeah, that's the they kind of do the Santana thing, right?
Alternating singers, yeah, but
Yeah.
the problem is that they've only released like 4 songs in the last like 4 years, and it's like, bro, I need more. This is gold. I need more of it. Like, why are you limiting yourselves?
I actually don't even remember what I tagged you in. That was a while ago.
I think it was just like I think it might have been something from like either like maybe like the thisisnoise.com or something, one of those metal news sites, or maybe it was Injection.
Sounds about right.
So
let's see. Oh, speaking of working, this was something I had written this down for last week and completely forgot about it. I had something new-ish happen to me a while back when I was out doing deliveries. So apparently, I know like one thing that people talk about whenever they or one of the narratives about delivery services is, you know, like, oh, they take money from the restaurants.
Okay.
Kind of.
So okay.
What they do is normally a service like Grubhub or Postmates or whatever, they will approach a vendor and they will work out a deal. Usually it's in the neighborhood of like a 30% commission on everything that whatchamacallit.
Oh, 30%. That's pretty steep.
On every sale that's made. But I mean, this has nothing to do. Well, it doesn't have anything to do with people who just come in normally and use their own point of sale system,
right?
Like at all. And you also have to remember that like this commission usually comes with they direct traffic to your restaurant.
So in other words, you're making money where you otherwise probably wouldn't have, because if this guy is not going to get off his couch to order takeout, you know, he's ordering takeout, you might as well get him to order takeout from there. So that's actually, yeah, I mean, it makes total sense to me. And again, it's like, oh, this shit's good. I could totally go eat there the next time I'm around, or I could take a date there, or I could go out with the wife or the kids and the husbands and the partners or the support animals. I don't know.
Yeah. And from what I looked up is they boast, or at least with Postmates, for example, which is the one I'm on, they boast something in the neighborhood of like a 200 to 300% increase in traffic for a restaurant who's signed up as a partner deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing that does differ is that Postmates, well, every other service, they only use contracts. So, like, if somebody says no, then they don't. Then nothing happens. They just don't have that service.
Yeah.
But what Postmates does instead is this is kind of a bullshit thing that they do, but it's not. So what they've done is they also have their program tooled out so that it uses an automatic discovery service that reads through Foursquare, and then it will pull an entire listing off of that and then generate a listing for a restaurant in that way.
Okay.
And so, well, it is kind of skeevy because like obviously whenever this happens, it has nothing to do with whatchamacallit. They're not like making a deal with the vendor. They're just like creating a listing and then sending people out. But also when that happens, those are the jobs that I get where I have to like put in an order and then pay with a prepaid card.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing though, is with that, there's no commission whatsoever. Because there can't be, because it's through their own point of sale system.
Huh. So Does that mean that Postmates, in order to comp for that, would upcharge what they're seeing on the menu and then keep the difference?
No, it's just like an extra customer fee, a little
Okay.
bit. So like yeah, if a vendor isn't part of the service or part of the
The contract.
isn't a partner program, they then there won't be like a delivery discount or anything like that. It'll just always be like the full price or whatever, which is usually going to be like $6 or so.
Yeah.
Whereas if I were to order for something that was maybe only like a mile or two down the road, it'll usually be bumped down to like $2 or $3, depending. Or even if it's like a really big place, then they might even do like the occasional free deal every once in a while. Just it just depends on like what they want to do and their contract and all that. But
Yeah.
also another thing with the auto discovery service that they do is so they Postmates kind of created a little bit of a Pandora's box with the program, because the thing is it's automatic, and I don't know if you're familiar with object oriented programming
Vaguely.
at all. So yeah, so the way it works is that you have a program and then it has a bunch of different modules that are
Okay.
objects, and these can be anything. It's just like it's just it's like a defined container with one or more fields that can contain
Sure.
information. And in this case, it would be like a vendor's name, address, and then like all the items that they can find off of the Foursquare listing. And so whenever a customer or somebody like that does a search for said restaurant, if it finds it on Foursquare, it will generate a whole listing immediately, and then that'll be written onto their disk or database or whatever, and then people can start ordering from there. And the reason it's kind of a Pandora's box is because they can Postmates can technically take somebody off of their database,
Mm-hmm.
but since it's automated, if somebody searches for it again and it's still there on Foursquare, it'll create a new object and rewrite it onto their database. And they can't do anything about that without like shutting the entire thing down and just like rewriting the whole program. So now, what happened to me the other day is I went to a vendor, and also these usually tend to be Mexican restaurants that do this too, that just don't sign up for anything. So like really famous ones like Casa Vega and some other ones in Hollywood, like they don't have they don't have any delivery service whatsoever.
Yeah.
Maybe they do like their own thing here and there. Are you listening to this show and thinking, man, I'd like to start a podcast, but I don't even know where to start? Well, Buzzsprout has the answers for you. Buzzsprout is a podcast hosting service that provides a number of valuable resources to help you on your podcasting career path. For one, Buzzsprout offers indefinite hosting of all your episodes and allows you to host as much material as you want, depending on the type of subscription that you opt for. Buzzsprout also provides a means for getting your show hosted to every major podcasting platforms such as iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, you name it. In addition, Buzzsprout also provides various means to get your show monetized through various sponsorship and affiliate programs, links to other paid hosting platforms such as Patreon and YouTube, and your own personal newsroom to learn all the tips and tricks for optimizing your podcast for the greatest return on your investment. If you're hearing all this and you're still interested, you can go to my link below and receive an Amazon gift card for starting a podcast hosting subscription that you'll receive on the second billing period of your podcast journey. Everyone has something to share, and there's no time like the present. Join Buzzsprout today. But so I went to a place in Hollywood, and I went there, it was an order and pay, fine, whatever, kind of a pain in the ass, but, and so I get there, I say like, hey, I have to put in an order for Postmates, and the host, he just looks at me, he's like, oh, we don't take Postmates orders, like, what?
Oh.
So I was a little confused at first, because I've been in a situation where it's like, yes, they don't have the program, and it's like, oh no, I just have to put in the order and I have a card. And so that's what I say. It's like, and he said, oh no, we don't we don't take orders at all. Apparently it's like a price war type of deal or something like that, which is what prompted me to go and look up all this information that I just told you. Yeah. So here's the thing. So what he was saying, because I mean, obviously he was just doing, what his boss told him to do. Right. But, so whoever, I also looked up one of like the biggest complaints about the delivery services is because the increased traffic. There's a lot of places, like, especially if they're mom and pop stores, they're not really oriented to handle that kind of traffic. Yeah, so that's like one of the complaints. But the the reason that
it's almost like a good problem you'd want to have, but yeah.
It can be good, it can be bad. I've been to places where like I've been waiting there for like over an hour. So that's not too good. But I mean, but the point is yeah, so the reason he gave me is because he literally said like, oh, our manager won't take Postmate orders because of the because they take money out of your orders. Well, either the guy was ignorant or he was just lying to his employees, because that's not
ignorant. He's just ignorant.
And also, I was there, and there's almost as many people like waiting to be seated as there were seated. And so I was almost like, well, yeah, I get it. I mean, you guys can't even service the people you got here, but whatever. But yeah, so basically, and if somebody like tells me or tells you like, hey, we don't take those orders because of this, like, well, they're lying, and they just don't want to, they're just lazy, and they don't want to deal with the
I just feel like
extra stuff.
Okay, so I get not wanting to sign up for the contract. Like, I get that. Like, that makes sense to me. But then going off and saying like, oh, yeah, you don't have to. Like, if you want to keep all your income, great. You're not getting the traffic, but that's totally fine. This is America. You could do that. But then to be like, we don't do any Postmates orders because we get too many of them. That just, again, sounds like you don't want to make money. Like, I mean, I feel like that's just such a lost opportunity. I don't know.
I get the feeling that like the public narrative about this, like, saying like, oh, Postmates takes restaurants' money. Like, this is obviously coming from people who literally have no skin in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatsoever. Don't know
somebody
what the
who wanted to make wrote a hit piece or decided to be a social justice warrior for the wrong reasons and didn't do any of their research.
Yeah, they just saw like, oh, 30%. What?
That's what I said. I was like, whoa, that's a lot. Yeah. And then you explained, well, here's what you get for it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
And also, nowadays with everything being closed down, they've cut a lot of services have basically cut that down to like almost half. So like 15%.
Yeah, because they want to keep your business.
Exactly, and there's like no other method for business. And the thing is like,
and not to
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, not to mention which, like, right, like that's really smart of those services to be like, oh, we'll take our 30 and we'll cut it to 15 because they're gonna make that up in the back end because everybody's fucking ordering takeout. Like they're more gonna kind of cover that
Exactly.
in a COVID situation.
And since the restaurant I was at was not part of the partner program, if they had taken my order, they still would have gotten all their money. So
That's what blows my fucking mind is that they're like, I'm here with a prepaid card. I'm paying you money for food and I am walking out with that food and giving it to somebody else. Like, you shouldn't give a shit as long as I'm giving you money here now. Because money is money's. Like,
yeah.
to do the meme, right? That must have been that has to have been just bad management.
Well, yeah, they it's probably just like, some old mom and pop. Again, they heard 30% and just freaked out.
Yep.
Something like that. And it's also entirely possible that they had this same policy, like, for years or something like that. It had been the first time that I went over there. So, I don't know, but, I mean, yeah.
Had you done orders over there before?
No, this is my first time going to that restaurant. So
yeah, so that might have been. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. Everywhere else I've gone to, they're like, oh, okay, because I guess they know what the deal is, or at least employees haven't been told, don't take these orders. But I don't know.
Yeah.
They know better. And then of course, bigger stuff like if you go to like a grocery store or whatever, they don't give a shit anyway. But
yeah.
I avoid those anymore because those are always a pain in the ass because they never have exactly what's asked for.
Yeah.
But
I can imagine that, like for those odd pickup trips, just being a big pain.
Oh yeah, like I think the last one, the last one I accepted because I didn't realize Pavilions was a grocery store. Like somebody wanted some things of yogurt, and all they had was either the size that was too small or the one that was like a gallon, and they didn't pick up the phone, so I just had to call in and be like, "Sorry, canceled." But yeah, so that was my round of bullshit the week before last week, actually. And yeah, probably
Still cut out for me if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Nah.
Did I go out?
I think you're back now.
Yada yada yada.
There, yada yada.
Okay, yeah. But no, I literally the only time I've ever gotten like mad at anything in the last year or so, because
well, good for you, man. I feel like I get mad at shit all the time now. I guess I think I have one of those personalities that's just built to just perpetually be pissed off.
I've been to SoCal Open. I've seen
it. Shh, that was different. That was evil.
Well, I mean, also part of it for me is, I mean, like I usually work hard to at least have an idea of what I'm doing. So it's like extra shitty whenever like something happens that, or like whenever I have to deal with something that isn't my fault. You know what I mean? That's basically what this whole situation was.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do kind of worry because like it's, I don't know if like I'm ever gonna have to deal with something like that in the future, but I hope not. Especially like I don't know. I just hope that something like that doesn't turn into like, a real confrontation. But I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, and even also like every once in a while, I do still see, like people that like I know on Instagram or whatever, saying like, oh, support your restaurants, order direct or whatever, because services take money. It's like, well, yeah, they signed up for it. They know that's the contract.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get it. It's fine if you want to, put it in order or go ahead. It's great, but not everybody can do that. I mean, I never know if, like, the person that I'm, delivering to is disabled or something like that. Or is just like, I don't want to go outside. Especially now. Because, I mean, I've had some, like, last summer even, I had people who were like, yeah, I haven't even been outside of my house in, like, 5 months. Or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Good times.
I know. It's pretty yeah, it's just it's one of those things where it's like it gets you kind of just thinking about the whole scope of things, right? And excuse me, the pandemic changing how we view everything, right? And not because it's like we're necessarily socially conscious. I mean, I think in some cases, in a lot of cases, that's the case. Cases. But I think a lot of it too is just us realizing that we used to do things in a very traditional manner despite our technological progression. And now it's like, oh shit, we can totally do things differently. Like, I've talked to a lot of people from companies where they're like, this is insane. We can save so much money on this. Our employees are happier. They work longer hours because they're happier and they're at home, so they're more willing to be productive. And like, you could take that ticket to ride, man, and like really embrace and evolve. But then you get some companies that, where it's very clear that they're just writing this out and they're like, whoa, when this all goes back to normal, this all goes back to normal, everybody. And like, they just want back to the status quo. And it's like very clear. It's like, no, you're dealing with a majority workforce of now millennials and Zoomers and Gen Xers who, guess what? Gen Xers were the first of the technological savants, right? And we like this. Like, I don't like not being able to go out, and I don't like wearing a mask. I do those things, but I also like working from home. I also like but I also love the option of working from home. Like, if I could work a job and be like, I get 2 days a week where I work remote, and like maybe that changes what it is, that'd be awesome. I'd be all about that. I mean, but that's just, but I come from the white collar world. So I'm sure for some other people and other experiences, that's not the case. Like, if you're a restaurant worker, you want this thing to fucking end, right? Bartenders don't want this thing to fucking end. But that makes sense. Those are the kind of jobs where it's about community and about people being together. What I do, it's nice if that's there and that helps things, but that doesn't get the work out the door,
Well, I would also imagine in your case, it's probably not, like, what you need for your job probably isn't, like, that, like, hardware or technically intensive. Is that kind of a...
Yeah, I work, I'm quasi-technically, like, intensive. It's not one of those things where it's like, I have to know how to do programming and I'm this programmer, but I have to use our software, our financial system. And it can be demanding and there's lots of intents and we get requests all the time. So, but the key thing I need for my work is a working laptop and an internet connection. I mean, I'd argue I need 2 monitors.
You still there? Shit. I can hear you. There you are.
There we go.
Yeah.
So how much did I get blocked out?
You finished your complete thought and then it cut at 2 monitors.
That is exactly where it needed to end.
No,
my tirade was over.
Yeah, right. Well, these podcasts aren't technologically intensive, apparently, so we're good. But I mean, like at the same time, though, if so like for people I know who are, in visual effects, that's a completely different story. Because I mean, they have to have a high-powered machine with the right programs, which usually take a license of some sort. So, well, I actually don't even really know how that's being handled necessarily. I'm sure they'll I'm pretty sure that like a studio can get a remote license, but then let's say you get that, then you have to have a machine that can actually run everything, and then you're also running into like, power consumption and bandwidth and all that type of bullshit, which I don't know. I guess unless you could do like a personal write-off with that tax-wise, I have no idea. But that kind of a job is a lot better suited for being in like a sort of central office, especially one that's fiber optics capable or something along those lines.
I do know of some people. Yeah, I mean, I do know that that despite all that, there has been because of the way the movie industry is, there's been even more of a push towards animated work. So like, I do know that for certain kinds of animation, the working from remote thing was just like, all right, the company's gonna like shell out X $100,000 just to help with the upgrading of everyone's personal work from home tech, because that's just a dip in the return that they're going to see if we can keep making movies, So I mean, even then, like I could still see that becoming more remote too. Maybe not for like the hardcore stuff, like where you need those cables, or like, I understand very little of all of it, but like the rendering, like I usually know like with rendering when you're finalizing the animations, like that requires a lot of GPU computing.
Yeah, so, you're not doing that from home.
Like, no fucking way
at all.
unless you're already a Bitcoin miner with a secret like warehouse under your house, you're not doing that.
Even that ain't happening anymore. So I think like if I remember right, like Bitcoin mining now requires like an actual full fucking warehouse.
You need a full warehouse, and that's by design too, because the whole point was the bigger the chain gets. This is me promising I'm not going to go on a crypto rant. I think I already went online like last week or the week before. I'm not going to go on it again. But but no, it's one of those things where it's like, because of where we are on the blockchain for Bitcoin, you need those many computers to do it. And not because it's so advanced, you just need that many cranking out to actually turn a coin around in a valuable time. Like I could do a Bitcoin mine on my computer that I have, no problem. I could do it.
You'll be long dead by the time you get it.
5 or yeah, exactly. I think it's like the current math is something like my computer maybe would be like somewhere between 10 and 20 years I'd get one coin, and that's assuming that Bitcoin stays the same exactly as it does right now, which we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it just jumped to 55 yesterday. It's bonkers.
Yeah, it's a little all over the place, but. Or that I think I remember there isn't really a lot left to mine out, from what I understand. So if you were just doing it on like a home PC, I mean, you'd get someone would beat you to the punch a good decade early, probably.
Yeah, if you wanted to get into Bitcoin, either just do partial coins like everybody else does just to get other cryptocurrency, or go back in time to 2011 when it was $3 a coin.
Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late to get Bitcoin.
But I guess if other coins probably follow similar.
I just was like, oh, should I?
Why? What happened? Oh, you're checking your own.
Oh no! I've got my Bitcoin. I've got like 0.0009 something coin of Bitcoin, because you could split coins into partialities. And when I got it as signing up for part of the crypto service, it was worth $7. And then now it's worth something like $12.90 something, which says something about how much Bitcoin jumped in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Because holy shit, if my like pittance of a coin almost doubled in value, and it was like less than 1,000%. Good God.
I think I made like $150 over the last couple years or so. So it's not too bad. Actually, mostly over the last few months. So technically still a couple years, but
yeah.
The fuck were we talking about? Oh yeah, machines. Or working from home. where were we going?
Yeah, we were talking about working from home.
Potting from home. Hopefully, one of these days. Hopefully, well, I never did ask over at Gameology what their supposed podcast studio situation was going to be, or maybe one of the. Hopefully, I'll win the lottery one of these days, and then I won't have to worry about any of that kind of bullshit. Just get a big old house.
Yeah, actually, more like math. You actually have a better chance of making money picking a random stock and dumping $100 into it, or even $10 than you do off of making money on a lottery. It's just, I remember looking up the odds again. It was just like, good Christ, this is like, I had a friend who told me once, he's very intelligent. So I'm speaking from authority because I'm telling you he was smart. But
smart.
basically, he said, "Oh well, he is a professor." He did basically tell me that the lottery was a system designed to keep poor people poor, because you give them this false dream of like fucking striking it rich, because you get 300,000 or 400,000, not even million, like 300,000 or 400,000 people pumping in maybe $2, $3 a week on a ticket, or $4 a week on 2 tickets per week. $4 is like nothing. It's like nothing, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you do the math. That's like $1.2 million, $1.6 million per week. And so you see that climb and climb and climb. So all of a sudden people are buying more and more and more. And that's why you see like lottery ticket things go like boop, and like that's why, what was it, up until about 2 months ago, it was like almost 300 million or 500 million, something insane like that.
Yeah.
And then some motherfucker in like Michigan won, and it's like, hey, good for you, man. You hit the lottery. I mean, literally. So
yeah, it was both the U.S. and the California ones were up past 500 million, almost at the same time. So
yeah,
that would have been nice. I mean, but even like 10 million would still be life changing.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah,
you give me $1 million, not even 10. Just give me $1 million, and
it immediately turns to 500,000. And then you go from there.
Well, I have to buy at least
a
full Legion complement, all bought from Warhammer World. I mean, come on. That's a $500,000 right there for all 20 Legions. Yes, I'm going to custom build those two. No, but in all reality, it's like, $1 million. I know exactly what I'd instantly pay off all debt, portion off some of it, throw some in the 401k, throw some in savings, give some to my wife so she doesn't look at the rest of what I'm doing, and then take a good portion of that and just do aggressive but diversified investing. Like boom, and I'd have enough to like pay someone to do that. Like I'd have enough to be like, hey, here's a chunk of money, turn that into more money, and you get to keep some of the money. And they'd be like, okay, and like,
don't fuck up.
Yeah, don't fuck up, or else you don't get shit. Which is like really how it's supposed to work.
True.
And then banks and hedge funds were like, but what if we could fuck up but still keep it?
And here we are.
And here we are.
Yeah. I think I would at least like to have enough where I could buy like a house in LA straight up and then not have to be like, oh no, I forgot about property tax.
Yeah.
Type of deal. But I mean, because even if even if you get a house that's like what, 2 or 3 million, it's still only like maybe 5 figures a year. Not even
for property tax.
Yeah, it's really low.
I mean, first off, I don't think you should pay property tax. I own property, goddamn, it's my property. I don't know. I have very libertarian leanings when it comes to taxes, but I don't think they shouldn't exist. But yeah, no, I mean that's not bad. 5 figures.
And well,
I mean, because if you have that much, if you have that much money, but here the other thing too about having lots of money that people forget, or rather, I'm sorry, having a big house. is that it costs a lot to upkeep, and not just the not just like the lawn or whatever, or the dusting or the cleaning. Like there was a castle I remember on sale. This is like some castle randomly listed in like England. It was this whole estate. It was this castle estate. It looked the bomb.com, and like it was really affordable from like American dollars perspective. It was something like $1.8 million, and it's this huge, gorgeous estate, like awesome shit and everything. And I was like, this is a freaking steal. Like, why wouldn't anyone just instantly buy this? And then I looked down at, like, I think someone commented, or even the site itself, the listing had the breakdown for the annual upkeep costs. And it was like you were spending another $500,000 every year to own it. Because the grounds were so extensive, you would...
Now we'll just wait for Tom to come back. So we're cutting out again. Apparently the only thing more jank than this podcast
So
is...
how much of the rant was there? How much of it stayed?
You got to... It's all gone. No. You got to the part where... Oh, shit.
Hello?
Are you there?
Carson!
There we go.
I can hear you.
There we go. We got it on film. It's not our fault.
Okay.
No, you
Yep.
you got to once you look at the actual grounds expenses.
Yeah, basically, long story short, you own a place like that, you're paying for a whole fucking household staff. It's not just like the simple trimmings you buy.
Oh my god, did you... Oh, jeez. Thought I almost lost you again.
Yeah.
But, the fuck was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I wouldn't want a castle. But...
I know, dude.
A smallish house with kind of a decent amount of land wouldn't be too nice. Like, I don't know if you've...
Yeah.
If
I even what?
Let's say, I don't know if you ever had the chance to go to like one of those mountaintop houses around here up in the hills, like the really secluded ones. Those are nice.
Yeah, I've been to something like that. Like for those, like there are these really like big. I think I went to a bachelor party, and it was like an Airbnb, and we rented out like. It was for my brother's bachelor party, and we rented out the guy's house. It was like on top of the mountain, Woodland Hills area, everything. Totally dope. Turns out the guy was the producer behind a couple Korn albums and Linkin Park.
Nice.
He's basically the guy who got like Linkin Park singer with them and everything, and his house was dope. It was so cool. The only problem I have with those houses is that the incline to get up to them is so steep you could basically never own a sports car.
Oh yeah.
Or never own a sports car there.
Yeah, I had that same problem when I was well, not really problem, but I ended up working over in Silver Lake a bunch over the weekend, and I had like the last house that I had to get to was like up a 45-degree climb or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous. And then like the next intersection was literally just a drop off on either side. It's like it wasn't Silver Lake. It was Elysian Fields or Elysian Park, which is even more hilly. And they're nice neighborhoods, but what a pain in the ass. to live in. Are you freezing up on me again? Or I guess I'm freezing up on you again. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, there goes my internet's being stupid. You there? There we go.
There we go.
But yeah, some of those neighborhoods would be a real pain in the ass to live in, especially like if I get like real money, I would end up being like a second car kind of guy. And for me, that second car is going to be something, big and obnoxious, like a Hummer or something like that. And that's not happening in at least those hills. If I really had the money, I would want to live in like the flats part of Beverly Hills or something like that. Those are where the nice houses are. I'm pretty sure the Playboy Mansion's still out there too, but I don't think they use that for anything anymore. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. What do you think? We're sitting pretty. We're sitting.
Sitting on just an hour here. A bit of a cut hour, but an hour nonetheless.
It's very.
You're coming in pretty choppy for me right now too.
We say, should we just go ahead and wrap this one up for now?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we just have to blame the internet companies for trying to censor us. They must have heard our cast last week and thought we were too cool for school.
we got to get rid of them and everybody else in LA. Apparently.
Yeah. Just gotta wait for Daddy Elon to start Skynet and get on that free satellite Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, he'd have to move back first, probably. But
yeah.
Well, so yeah, there's obviously lag in there. Well, so that is another episode of the Jankity Ass Podcast. We're glad you're here still through all this bullshit.
Yep.
If you're watching, once again, go down to the corner, like, subscribe to Multi-Murdy Media. You get the Jankity Ass Podcast. You get the Gutsy Ass Gamer. You get the Pontius Paint Booth. Also, our new website in the show description, multimurdymedia.com. And also look for Multi-Murdy Media on Instagram and Facebook. And then, of course, Tom, you can find over on TFG Radio with our buddies over there.
Yep.
And as always, keep doing your vices, and I guess we will see you guys next week. Hopefully.
All we got. All right, ciao.